So understand dependent origination. We talked about the dependent origination and the emptiness. These are the two sides of the same coin. 143. So for anything emanated by a magician, or anything emanated by causes, if what is produced exists intrinsically, then examine where it comes from. For example, the things, they come to exist by dependence. And dependence, there are three levels. Dependence on causes, conditions, dependence on the wholes, depends on the parts, and depends on mere mental designation. So, on the things come into existence by dependence, by dependent origination, is like the magician creating the magical illusion. Just the magical illusion comes into existence where the magician creates, so which is not the truly real. Likewise, what is emanated, what is created, what is produced by the factors dependent on which things come into existence, they are like illusion. These two, how they operate, they are very similar, but not identical. They are similar. So for anything emanated by magician or anything emanated by causes, if what is produced exists intrinsically, then examine where it comes from. So if you think that they exist intrinsically, with ultimate analysis, when you examine where it comes from, where it goes, for example, no coming, no going. You remember? No coming, no going. Where is it from? Where is it taken from? From Adi Nagarjuna's fundamental version of the middle way, the praise to the Buddha. Okay, so which is, you remember? Which we included in this book, the blaze. Okay. And also where it goes, 144. How can there be true existence in some virtual objects like reflection, which is seen only in conjunction with something else meaning some other factors. So by dependence on some other factors, there's no intrinsic reality there. So I would say that for example, so this will take time where, yes, of course, the fruit or the sprout depends on the other factors like the causes. For example, house depends on these parts, like the walls, the pillars, the ceiling, and so forth. And then, for example, say the mother or daughter and so forth. These all say the mutuality of dependency with respect to the where's Kaya? Okay, and say by mutuality of dependency. With mutuality of dependency, then we see that the things come and exist. Yes, of course, I understand, but still, is illusion like? I don't see that. Right? It's very difficult. Yet, without seeing this illusion-like nature of phenomena, there's no end to suffering. Our problems, sickness, aging, death, tension, depression, anxiety, anguish, fights, conflicts, all these things will just unending to go, right? And this life, okay, we are lucky we met with the Dhamma, and we met with, say the correct, the good atmosphere, and then next life, what kind of environment and we take birth? We never know. What kind of the people around you meet with, we never know. Very scary. So therefore, we have to see emptiness in this life. If you don't see that, no matter what practice that you do, no point. Say, even sitting for meditation, samadhi, deep samadhi, where you really cut off from the desires, for the sensual desires. You take by the formless realm, and then again, if you without the wisdom emptiness, like the two teachers of the Bodhicharyavtara, again, at one point, the karma to throw you into the formless realm. The finishes, again, you have to come back. Again, sickness, aging, death, tension. This is just endless. So, wisdom emptiness. Somehow we have to work on this. If we don't work on this, then this is the... I would say, after seeing this, knowing this, and then not going into this direction, this is the greatest of the deception for the individual. Okay. 144. How can there be true existence in some virtual object like a reflection, which is seen only in conjunction with something else, meaning that conjunction with something else, with some other factors? The moment you say that it depends on some other factors, there's no intrinsic reality. And then we will not get this understanding. Yes, I know that, for example, lower schools, they say the same thing, that all the results are dependent on the causes. All composite things are impermanent. It's accepted by all the Buddhist schools. But they don't really get this emptiness intrinsicality. So this, there's a time factor there. We really need to work on it, and gradually, it's a gradual process. We really need to work on this, if possible, try to always be with such an environment where the state of emptiness, reflection of emptiness, and people who are really interested in this rather than, something else. Of course, it doesn't mean that other things are wrong. Other things, but not compromising the wisdom of emptiness. If this is how we can do it, then gradually your understanding will become deeper, deeper, and deeper. This is the only way. Otherwise, we will continue in the dream. And then dream means, hey, well, yes, 3 poisons. Where's the hope? Right? Yeah, there's a problem. So wisdom of emptiness is the only hope. Okay. Is there anybody who likes to identify the short text which we read once, recognizing the mother? What is it? Which 1A2. Oh. Wow, this is amazing. Okay. Recognizing the mother. Verse number 4, page 182, verse number 4. So this will tell us why, without emptiness, you are lost. O my undeceiving mother, referring to emptiness. O my undeceiving mother, you the emptiness, you have betrayed me. Because thus far you have been running away from me. You're always showing me a different face, objective reality, no emptiness. No emptiness of object reality, showing the object you are running away. You are always hiding behind the object reality. So you have betrayed me all the times. So I hope to be saved by my brother, the dependent arising. By understanding dependent arising, then I'll see my mother who is hiding behind the objective reality, perception of object reality. Yet it is ultimately through your kindness. Whose kindness? The mother's kindness alone, O mother, that I can hope to be freed. This is the only way, the wisdom of emptiness. This is the only way by which I can hope to be freed. Okay, let's not forget these things. So with this mind, 144, how can there be a true existence in some virtual object like a reflection, which is seen only in conjunction with something else? The moment things are dependent, the objectivity, intrinsicality is not tenable. So it's like illusion. 144, reasoning to establish emptiness from the viewpoint of the effect. 145, for a functional thing that is existent. So now if things do exist objectively, if things exist, say, if the flower already exists, what's the need of the seed of the flower? You agree? If the flower is already there, what's the need of the seed of the flower? What's the need of a cause? Seed of the flower should be the cause. What's the need of the cause? Because the effect is already there. Then again, if that is non-existent, if the flower is not there, then what can the seed do? For non-existent, what can the seed do? Because, say, if it is non-existent, then what is objective real, intrinsic real, if it is non-existent intrinsically, it should be always non-existent. So if it is always non, for example, like, say, I am 56 years old. 56 years old youth It's non-existent. 56 years old person's youth is non-existent completely. It'll never happen. It's non-existent. So therefore, no matter what you do, what cause, no cause can bring this 56 years old person's youth. This non-existent completely. So if it's intrinsically non-existent, objective non-existent, it is non-existent completely. So with this, nothing can make it happen. So if the result is non-existent objectively, what can the cause do? Now 146. There can be no transformation of a non-existent thing into existent thing. So what is non-existent should forever remain as non-existent. It cannot become an existent thing. But for the imputed nature, where things exist by dependent origination, even if something is non-existent, it can become existent. For example, like 2024, which was non-existent in 2023, it gradually became existent by dependence. If there is independent existence, no dependency, what is non-existent should forever remain non-existent. Even by means of 100 million million causes, how can a thing in that state of non-existence become an existent thing? But what else could be transformed into an existent functional thing? What else? If there's something is non-existent, nothing can become existent. 147. If functional things cannot possibly exist at the time of the absence of the functional things, when will they come to exist as a functional thing? In the absence, say for example, 2024, 2025 is, okay, today is 7th July of 2024. So 8th of July of 2024 is tomorrow. It's not existent today. So since functional things cannot possibly exist at the time of the absence of functional things, so the let's say today, 8th of July of 2024 exists non-existent. It is non-existent. So it says since functional things like say 8th July of 2024 cannot possibly exist at the time of the absence of the functional absence of 8th of July 2024. It cannot exist at the time of non-existence of that. When will they come to exist as a functional thing? So what is non-existent, when will it ever come into become existent? Without production of functional thing, if the function is not produced, 8th of July is not produced, it cannot be freed from being a non-functional. If it's not produced, it will forever remain as non-existent of the functional thing. 148. Without being freed from non-functional things, no occasion will occur for a functional thing to exist, and a functional thing cannot change to a state of non-functionality. Now, if you say that no, the functional thing and non-functional, they like coexist. So both are there. Then it should be like half-half. Because then it would absurdly follow that it had the two natures, half existent and half non-existent. 149. In that way, as cessation does not truly exist, so the cessation of things, arising of things, the verse by Arinagaju, if you remember, independent origination, there's no ceasing, no arising. So no ceasing, no arising. Why? Because ceasing and arising exist dependently. Because they exist dependently, they don't exist objectively, intrinsically. So in that way, as cessation does not truly exist, and the arising of functional thing does not truly exist either, all wandering beings at all times, wandering means all the sentient beings, never are truly arising or truly ceasing. The sentient beings are never truly arising, never truly existing. So what we said last time is that the independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising. Then? No coming, no going. No permanence, no annihilation, no permanence. No oneness, no separateness. So how many the entities are identified there? 8 of them are identified. In fact, seeing these 8 entities as objectively real with respect to the phenomena with which you interact, it arouses it arouses all the mental, the emotional stirs. So when you see these 8 phenomena, particularly in all these, we see that arising and ceasing is the dominating factor. So because of this, the Buddha, oftentimes Buddha teaches that no arising, no ceasing, no arising, no ceasing, no arising, no ceasing. Arising and ceasing is all just mentally imputed. When you see that arising and ceasing is mentally imputed, and then in our day-to-day life, for example, say, oh, when did we come here? 31st of June? 30th of June we came here. So 30th of June ceased, and then the first of July arose. Then 1st of July ceased, the retreat arose. Then the retreat is ceasing. You're getting it? And then I know that some of you feel a little sad. Right, Anna? Look at Anna. Right? Okay, a little sad. Or sad. So which means that you enjoyed the retreat. So if you don't enjoy the retreat, you're happy. You're getting it? Okay. Okay. So believe it or not, all our emotional stirs, our life revolves around arising and ceasing, arising and ceasing. If you can see the emptiness of arising and ceasing as like a dream, then almost like you can relate emptiness with all the phenomena with which we interact, particularly those which can arouse emotions within us. Okay. Sameness, samsara, and nirvana on the ultimate level. Okay, now we're done. 115. Therefore, wandering beings, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, 2013. The early morning, 2013, one early morning, I received a call from the secretary of His Holiness the Dalai Lama when His Holiness was in Delhi, 2013. How many years ago? 11 years ago. And the secretary said, His Holiness wants you to be here. So I just rushed. And then His Holiness gave a detailed explanation, like briefing, explanation about what should be the purpose of Tibet House in detail. And then His Holiness also indicated that when Tibet House organizes some bigger programs, you can also, introduce taking the Aspiration Bodhisattva program. Then I just reported that yes, we do that. During all the Bodhicharyavtara retreats, we do that. And His Holiness were very happy. So he was just in a very light way. His Holiness said, oh, you already started doing what otherwise I'm supposed to be telling you. And then His Holiness said that as a part of this, taking the Aspiration Bodhisattva vow, you can read this section related to this, taking the Aspiration Bodhisattva vow. Is about this sameness, samsara, and nirvana. Not this start is given there from verse 150 through to the end of the wisdom chapter. So read this. And then His Holiness, do you notice this in this book? It is there, included there. This is Yeshila. You see that? Okay, anybody who can identify that in this book? Page 49. Okay. It's included there. And then His Holiness said that if people, okay, listen. If people tell you that, look, he's just, just creating something which is not traditional, like adding these words, or adding these verses, then you just say that this is what Dalai Lama said. You wash your hand on Dalai Lama. This is what His Holiness said. So, if you look at this page 49, 47. Or if you look at the page 47, okay. If you look at page 46, the annotation, In the annotation of wisdom of emptiness, so what I wrote there is that to unveil one's Buddha nature, one needs to meditate on the wisdom of emptiness, which removes the two mental obscurations, afflictive obscurations, cognitive obscurations. Unlike the meditation on emptiness in the section on renunciation, here it is specifically meant to cleanse the mental obscurations of self-grasping, ignorance, and self-centered attitude, so as to achieve complete enlightenment as part of the practice of bodhicitta. Meditate on emptiness using any method you are familiar with, such as the raising of the four essentials to discern emptiness, page number 308, or the stages to emptiness, page number 305. In accordance, now this section. In accordance with His Holiness Vodandala's advice, a few verses from Wisdom chapter 9, from Bodhisattva's Guide to Bodhisattva's Way of Life, are to be reflected upon at this stage. So this section I added, because that this is what His Holiness advised that morning, and I added this here. So all these were added in line with this. Okay, so now we see that this is more like, say, the summary, more like the practical advice, how we should be doing, what we should think about your Dharma practice, and so forth, coming from Bodhisattva Shantideva to 1,200 years ago. Okay, so let us read this very carefully. And reading these texts, reading this very standard text, will give you confidence. Okay, I don't really have to listen to this guy, Dorji Damdul, or to this person, that person, so forth. This is what is said there in the standard books. So, if you see these very standard books like Bodhisattva Shantideva's text, Acharya Chandrakirti's text, or Nagarjuna's text, and so forth, and particularly more precisely, I would say, Are Maitreya's text, Abhisamaya Alankara. When you see these texts, then your confidence to follow the path in a very comprehensive way, not just one-sided, forgetting emptiness, forgetting bodhicitta, do something else, just something else. Very partial path, you will not stray into these paths. So let us see what Bodhisattva Shantideva has to say here. Therefore, wandering beings, meaning sentient beings, we all resemble dreams. Upon analysis, they are like plantain trees. They are like dreams. No one exists as intrinsically real. Whether they release or not from sorrow, ultimately there is no difference. Whether you release in the form of having attained nirvana, become arhat, or become Buddha, or as a sentient being, in both cases, there's no intrinsic reality. So if you abide in this experience of the emptiness of intrinsic reality, we see the oneness of the two. So whether you release from samsara or in samsara, you abide, both are empty of true existence, and then see how your mind responds to this. So your mental turbulence, which we never experienced before, actually is there, even now. Or how many feel okay, calm, cool now, resents? How many feel calm? Okay, if you think you feel calm, if you get the glimpse of emptiness, you will see the contrast. That what you thought that you are calm and peaceful, actually you are not calm, there was disturbance there. So this disturbance was not visible. When you are fluctuating into like this disturbance, then this disturbance is not disturbance. But when your mind really stops in terms of the responses, involuntary responses, then you can feel that earlier my mind was constantly in this, the turbulence. You could feel that. So this is the meaning. Ultimately, there is no difference. Just feel the emptiness and then see how your mind responds. You see the calmness. That is the meaning of the transcendence of sorrow, is absolute peace. Okay. Advice on the need to strive to realize emptiness. So therefore, if in a practice wisdom of emptiness is lacking, then you are being disservice to yourself. In your meditation, if the wisdom of emptiness is missing, you are doing disservice to yourself. So let's see. Advice on the need to strive to realize emptiness. what is the reality? With all phenomena empty in that way, empty of objective reality, what is there to gain? What is there to lose? Say, we always strive to gain something. We're worried about losing something. It's all because of not seeing emptiness. And who's there to respect? And we seek respect. We want to run away from being somebody's being scornful us. So all these you transcend. Your mind is not affected by these things. 152. From when does pleasure or pain arise? What is there to dislike or what is there to like? When investigated at the ultimate level, what object is craved by which agent? This is all like illusion, your craving stops. 153. Upon analysis, what world of living beings is there that will die here? We're worried that we'll die. We have a fear of dying. So when you see the emptiness and the stable experience of emptiness, the fear of dying also disappears. That will die. Upon analysis, what world of living beings is there that will die here? Who's there who will come into existence? Who's there who has existed? Who is a relative and who's a friend? So this, say, they seeing the oneness of your near and dear ones, and the being oblivious to the distant people. This demarcation or this biases will stop. 154. Those of my type, please understand that everything is like space. Just in space, there's nothing to identify this or that. Likewise, with all the objects in the eyes of ultimate analysis, objectively, there's nothing to identify with this or that. Drawbacks of samsara. But those wishing for happiness for self get agitated and overexcited. Wishing for happiness for self, meaning for thinking that this objective self and wishing happiness for that self, these people get agitated and overexcited, which means without the emptiness meditation, we are doomed to suffer in that form, agitation, overexcitation. 155. Through causes such as fights, so what do we do in a real life? There's fights happening, and then celebrations, the excitations, the festivities. Then from the resulting distress and overexertion and disheartening disputes, they cut and stab each other. This is extremely scary. This is what samsara is. Thus passing their lives in tremendous difficulties due to the negative deeds. Then despite coming to the favorable stage of birth over and over again, and so often experiencing manifold pleasures, after that they fall to experience the unbearable sufferings of the bad stage of birth for a very long time. So if there's a choice given, so particularly I would say they're having met with my great teachers, and then really getting the opportunity to study the Naranta texts like Emptiness, Bodhisattva, and so forth. So sometimes I just, in a form of the fantasy, I was thinking, if there are two options, that I'm born as, in such a extremely ultra-rich family, billionaires, right? And then you become a Nobel laureate in physics. And some of you may be wondering, why he's always saying physics all the time, right? You know why? I don't want to explain. Okay. So when I was in class 9, 10, 11, 12 here, in the school here, I was so fond of physics. Yeah. I was thinking of becoming a physicist. And later when I shared these, just to make people that are dozing off, I just say I want to become a physicist. They become happy, right? When I share these things, just to elevate the people. So after sharing this, then a private call from one school teacher said that, Geshe, we are so lucky that you are not a physicist. Okay. Why I said it? That I know. So related to the text. Related to text? Oh, yes. If I'm given choice, that you are the ultra billionaire, say the family son, and Nobel laureate in physics, right? Versus somebody who's struggling very poor families, struggling, and so forth, sick, and nobody's there. Everybody just treats you as a doormat, right? But you meet with the Nalanda tradition, wisdom of Bodhicharyavtara. Today, if you ask me which would you choose, 100% I will choose the second one. People let them treat me as a doormat, but I am with the key, master key to the liberation. Nobel laureate in physics, ultra rich. What is a matter of maximum 80, 90 years after death? What will happen? Nobody knows. Whereas with this master key, you in this life you are suffering so terribly, but with this wisdom of emptiness, as taught by the Buddha, Bodhicharyavtara, this master will key the gate of the heaven in the future. To liberate. This is a wise approach. Okay, so this is what is mentioned here, 155. Through causes such as fights and festivities, then from the resulting distress and overexertion and disheartening disputes, they cut and step. Okay, 156. Then despite coming into the favorable states of birth over and over again, say very rich, ultra rich, very healthy, physical, very beautiful, very handsome, and the wealthy, extremely wealthy, and everything in such in favor of you. So often experiencing manifold pleasures, after death they fall to experience unbearable sufferings of the bad states of birth for a very long time. Done. 157. In cyclic existence, cliffs to fall from are plenty. Yes, in samsara, you start going to tuition. You see nobody comes to tell you let's go for a tea. Then you start going to tushita. You start going to the center. You start doing something very serious, right? Then more people come to say let's go to have a tea, and then worst case let's go to a pub. This will be more in number. When somebody sees you doing something good, obstacles will come in different forms. So in cyclic existence, cliffs to fall from are aplenty. You can easily people will drag you in this direction. And there in samsara, one remains deprived of the understanding of reality. And then say, 8 billion human beings. How many of you got the chance to study the wisdom chapter of Bodhicharyavtara? From 8 billion human beings. In this world, 8 billion humans, how many people studied this chapter? So less, most likely, what people do, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the 9 skip, and then jump to direction prayer. Many. So what I'm saying is that this is how it is so plenty that we don't meet with the teaching on emptiness. Okay. 157. In cyclic existence, cliffs to fall from are plenty, and in samsara one remains deprived of the understanding of reality. Since samsara and nirvana mutually contradict one another, one unceasingly cycles in samsara. In cyclic existence, the realization of the reality is absent. To know the reality, which alone will save us from having to shed the tears. This is almost non-existent. 157. There too are incomparable and unbearable oceans of suffering beyond any end. In samsara, there's little strength, the lifespan is too short. There as well, with activities for longevity and health, with hunger and exhaustion, with sleep and harms, and likewise with fruitlessly keeping company with childish people. Oh, this is a very serious message for all of us. Some people say that we have to experience life. And you experience life, you're trapped. You enter the lion's den. Finish. Look, this is a message. With fruitlessly keeping company with childish people. Life passes quickly and in vain, yet analytical wisdom is so difficult to gain. Furthermore, where is there in samsara a means to eliminate the habituated distractions? Distractions are many. Today, with the era of with the era of the Wi-Fi. This is some terrible distraction to young ones, the elder ones, everyone, male, female, everyone. Okay, 161. Again, when making effort to be free, the demons are striving there, right? So when you make effort to be free, right? Oh, I have to go to, I'll sign up for the retreat, right? Retreat, no, we have to do this, right? We plan for the holiday. No, why you are not coming for the holiday, right? We plan for the holiday, or so we plan for holiday. We are thinking of requesting you to keep our dog, right? Oh no, I've already signed up. Yeah, I know, but we already planned. You know that we already planned a holiday. Who'll take care of the dog? We are thinking of you. You are the only best person, right? Okay, finish. Yeah. Yeah. So, again, when making effort to free, 161, the demons, the demon will never say, I'm the demon, right? That would be amazing. If they say, I'm the demon, right, you could run away. But they will say, I'm your friend. You can't do anything for a friend like that. Even a small thing to keep a dog, you cannot do that, right? Just do one thing. In the morning, you take a walk. You cannot come to Dushita. How can you take, so in the morning, you give the dog, and then you feed the dog. Once you take the walk, then the dog will take the tail. You also feel attached, right? And you get stuck there. You're getting it? No, it doesn't mean that don't take care of the dog. That's not my point, right? Okay, so what I'm saying is that this is how it happens. Yeah. So again, when making effort to free, the demon is driving there. Not the dog. The person who is requesting you not to go to Tushita. To bring about a fall to the most awful states of rebirth in high states, and particularly, say, for example, the wrong companionship. They can make you go into terrible mental states, anger. And then you build up this anger. Anger destroys the virtues. It's very scary. So be in the right atmosphere. Environment, not atmosphere, environment. Okay, 161. Again, when making effort to free, the demons are striving there to bring about a fall to the most awful states of rebirth. In high births, because there are too many false paths. Look, wrong paths, false paths are too many. So distracting. False paths are so many. This is dharma, this is dharma, this is dharma. So many. Without the wisdom of emptiness. Right? Very scary. So many false paths. And also it is difficult to transcend doubt. 162. And it is difficult to gain respite again, and the appearance of Buddha is extremely difficult to find. And the rapids of affliction, rapids meaning very forceful rivers, afflictions, the rivers of afflictions are so difficult to abandon. Allah's suffering will just go on unceasingly. 163. And they fail to see their own suffering, although they are infested with extreme suffering. Oh dear, this really is a cause to lament for those who are caught in the rapids of suffering. 164. For example, some people perform ablutions and ablutions. Then they jump into the fire again. They think that this is the dharma. Even though in terrible states of suffering, they believe themselves to be happy. 165. Likewise, there are those who frolic about, fooling around as if there were no old age and death. This is the indulgence. First, they will lose their lives and then fall to a worse state of rebirth. Then finally, oh, when shall I then? Bodhisattva, they were saying, including this form of prayer, that how can I help the beings to make sure that the beings meet with the teaching on the wisdom of emptiness, which is the only liberating path from samsara to nirvana. Oh, when shall I come to bring peace to those tormented by the fires of suffering like these beings, with the rain of happiness from my collection, pouring forth from the clouds of my merit? Oh, when shall I intensely accumulate the store of merits through insight into the emptiness of the object of apprehension, and then teach emptiness to those who have been ruined by such an object of apprehension, meaning that those who are ruined by the belief in object of existence. Okay, done. Okay, so as as auspicious indication, usually the just read from the initial the text briefly as a gesture of continuing the teaching of the Buddha continue spread. It's not just end. It's not end. It's to continue. A guided Bodhisattva's way of life by the Bodhisattva Shantideva, Chapter 9, Perfection of Wisdom. The need to generate the wisdom and realize ultimate reality. The sage propounded all these branches of teachings for the sake of promoting wisdom. Therefore, those who wish to pacify suffering should generate wisdom. As said in the Two Truths, conventional ultimate, these are accepted as being the two truths. The ultimate is not the object of dualistic mind. The dualistic mind is spoken of in relation to the conventional truth. In light of that, the world is in two types, yogis and common people. And regarding that, the world of common people is undermined by the world of the yogis. Through differences in the intelligence, the views of the yogis to undermined by the progressive higher ones, by means of examples accepted by both, and because unanalyzed, both engage in practice for the sake of the result. Okay, we'll stop here. And okay, so let me just quickly wind up what we learned the last 7 days in the form of two lines composed by Acharya Dignaga. Acharya Dignaga, in about like the 6th century AD. 6th century AD, Acharya Dignaga, he wrote these two lines: the one who is transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugata, and protector, do your prostrations. Okay, so these two lines were composed by Aranyagarajan, the Acharya Dignaga. And how this came into existence, just let me share with you. Acharya Dignaga, he, by the way, is very interesting. When he was about like 9-8 years old, in those days, 1,000 years ago, schools is what? We say one wise man, most likely one wise person is there, and then his house is the school for all the boys and girls in the village. And oftentimes, when the weather is good, under the tree, there is a school. And Acharya Dignaga was one of the students there, just aged like 9 or 10. And, by the way, tell me, so what was the time we were supposed to wind up this class? 4:30. What did we say? 4 or 4:30. Okay. Okay, flexible. Thank you. Okay. Oh, yes. Yes, thank you. I must do it. There's so much enthusiasm there, Natalia. Yes. Okay. So what happened was that this boy, the teacher, he taught that there's a self which is permanent, unitary, and independent. He taught this concept. And all the boys and girls after class, they left. In the night, in those days, no electricity. So this little boy by the name Dignag, who later came to be known as the logician, the great master in logician, philosopher, logician, psychologist. What he was found doing by the other boys and girls was that he stripped himself naked, this boy, age 9, 10. Then he was holding a lantern, the light, and looking for something. And all the boys and girls around, they were so amused, right? They were so amused. It was so funny. This boy Dignaga, he went crazy, right? He stripped himself naked, and then with lantern he removed something. So tomorrow it was the excitement to share with the teacher. The moment they reached the class, they said, "Sir, sir, sir, Dignaga, this is what he was doing last night, stripped, naked, and he was with the lantern looking for something." And they thought that the teacher was going to laugh, and the teacher became very stern, like a what is that? Like a stone. Become very stiff and like a stone. And the boys and girls, they were confused what happened. Right? They thought the teacher was going to laugh. And the teacher said, "Dignaga, stand up." And the Dignaga stood up and said, "Did you do this?" And he said, "Yes, sir." The teacher said, "Get out." And he said, "Thank you." And left. You're getting it? And all the boys and girls, they were confused. Why? What happened? There's a psychic exchange happening between these two, the teacher and this small boy. It's all the two elders are fighting. Cold War. Right? And they just said, "Get out." And this little boy happily left. Right? And he became a renowned master and composed this whole text. So, he wrote this, and he became a solitary retreatant, a hermit. And he, in his hermitage, he was going to write on the logic. He wrote on psychology, he wrote on philosophy, and he was also writing on the logic, system of logic. Then he first wrote the word of salutation to the Buddha, the one who is transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher. So God and protector, to you make prostrations. This is what he wrote. He wrote, and then in those days, no papers. He was just a retreatant, solitary retreatant, nothing, very poor. So he wrote it on a slate, and kept it outside, and he left for the day's arm rounds. Coming back, what he wrote was erased. It happened 3 times. On the fourth day, he did not write this. He wrote, "Whosoever erased what I wrote, if you erase this out of joke, this is not a joke, this is a very important word, please don't erase it. If you erase it because you disagree with me, come show up in person." And then he left. Coming back, a man was waiting there. So what for? Competition. He disagreed with what Acharya Dignaga wrote. Competition, debate. So debate competition, as always, whosoever lost a debate should be converted to the other party's tradition. And debate who can compete with Acharya Dignaga. Then the other person lost the debate. Losing the debate, instead of being faithful to the custom, what he did was that he also had some magical power, this man. So he sent fire from his mouth, sent fire against Acharya Dignaga. And Acharya Dignaga's the robe was burned. Then Acharya Dignaga felt so unhappy. That unhappy means so sad, that if I cannot benefit even one single person who's right in front of my nose, how can I benefit all the sentient beings? So he threw the slate in the air, that the moment the slate falls, then I would rather focus on my own personal liberation. He threw the slate in the air, and the slate never fell. And was wondering what happened. He just looked up, and Arya Manjushri was holding the slate. And Arya Manjushri advised him, "My son, why are you demoralized? Continue with your work, the composition that you work on. This will become the eyes to open the wisdom eyes of all the beings, innumerable beings in the future. I'm always there to bless you." So this is the message given. So this is text. Then 100 years later, another great logician, psychologist, philosopher, master, Acharya Dharmakirti came. right? How many of you have been reading this? The one who is transformed the reliable guide, motivated altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugata, and protector prostrations. How many of you have read it? Minimum 7 times, sense? Minimum 7 times. Almost all of us. So some of us, we did not see this. You know why? Some of us, we do not see these 2 lines in the morning. Because alarm clock don't work. Right? Okay, so what I'm saying is that 100 years later, again another great master, Himacharya Dharmakirti, he read these 2 lines, and we read it so many times, but nothing happened. And he read it 2 times, just read it, and he saw the gravity of these 2 lines. There's so many important information, they're extremely precious. These 2 are like the gems of the gems. Then he composed, just 2 lines, he composed a whole commentary on this. It became a whole chapter 2 of Pramana Vartika, which has 283 verses. Just 2 lines to explain this. 283 verses came into being. And if you read the 283, you might be wondering what it might have contained. 283 verses, you will not understand. You need 2 thick volumes just to understand the 2 lines. You getting it? This is the gravity of this work. Okay, so with this mind, the one who is transformed into reliable guide. Who was this reliable guide? Buddha Shakyamuni. He was transformed. Transformed meaning he was not a reliable guide before. He became. So which means that if he became, we can also become. So this is hope for us. It inspires. Not that, full enlightenment, born as enlightenment. No. He transformed. We can also be transformed. Wow, this hope for us, number 1. He transformed. How? Through 4 steps. Motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings. The motivation. Being in the palace, seeing so many instances of injustices, cruelties and so forth in the palace, where the princely boys, they abuse, they starve, they abuse the girls and so forth. All these things are what he was saying. And the unnecessary penalties, punishments were given to the people. He was saying all these things. If this is what is happening in my palace, the same thing is happening in the other palaces as well. How many people suffering so much? If I become the next king, at the most, I can work for my own small kingdom. Even this, look at my father. I'll become somebody like my father. He could not even take care of his own kingdom, palace. So this is not my job. I have to look for a bigger thing to benefit all the sentient beings, motivated by altruism to benefit all the beings. So then he left the palace to look for the solution. If I'm in the palace, I will never be able to serve all the sentient beings. So he left in search of the path, a solution. So he met the 2 teachers. Who are they? Acharya Alarakalam and Acharya Udrega. And meeting with these 2 teachers, reaching the same spiritual level as the 2 teachers, asking for more teachings, the 2 teachers, having said that you've already reached the same level as, you have attained everything. But the princess said, no, I've not found the path to liberate all the beings. So he went in search of he further went to search in the solution. And finally he found this after 6 years of austere practice in the meditation. So he attained enlightenment. So before he attained enlightenment, when he's found this path, so this path, he is to teach the beings, so the beings will be liberated. This path, which he is to teach the beings, he found it. For example, COVID vaccine. You've discovered it, you invent it, and then what should you do? You should put that into trial. You have to put that into trial. So, the path that he discovered, he put it into trial, right? So what is that path he discovered? The wisdom of emptiness, which we studied the last 7 days. He found this wisdom of emptiness, and to see the efficacy of this wisdom of emptiness, what did he do? He experimented it on himself to see if it is efficacious. So he practiced it. Then what happens? The iceberg of self-grasping ignorance melts. Iceberg of that melts, and everything which is stacked on top of this, what is stacked? Inappropriate attention, afflictions, quantum karmas, and then the miseries. They're all stacked on this, they all crumble down. Miseries, misery becomes zero. Then he experiences Sugata. Sugata meaning the one who has gone to the bliss of the purity of all the mental defilements, bliss of the purity, Sugata. So with this experience, then he went to protect the beings. This is the biography of the Bodhisattva. So if this is how he proceeded, this is how I should be doing. This is a very broad roadmap to enlightenment. Very broad, just 2 lines. His Holiness the Dalai Lama oftentimes would encourage people to design your Dhamma practice on the basis of these 2 lines, the biography of the Buddha. So, the one who is transformed into a reliable guide. So this Prince Siddhartha, he became a reliable guide to lead all the sentient beings. What made him a reliable guide? Motivated by altruism to benefit all sentient beings. So with this motivation, altruism, then he went in search of the path. Finally, he found a path. Which path? The wisdom of emptiness to be taught, the teacher. The wisdom of emptiness to be taught to all the beings. So before he taught it, he experimented it on himself. Experimenting that upon himself, he discovered, he experiences Sugata. That is the one who has experienced the bliss of purity. Having experienced that, then he went out to teach, to protect the beings by sharing this wisdom with all the beings. So this is a biography. So for us, say we need to cultivate the altruism to benefit all sentient beings, bodhicitta, and then look for the wisdom which we studied. So it is like just a mere intro. Our job is to go for further studies. Don't beat around the bush. Don't dig too many wells. Don't beat around the bush. If you really want to stop the tears of samsara, then just go. But we are so fortunate to have met with another tradition. Go directly to it, penetrate it, and make yourself realize, very confident person, now I've found the path, right? The path, the wisdom which the Buddha taught all the beings. You experience it yourself, you experience the degrees, some degrees of Sugata. With this, then you continue to share your wisdom with other beings to protect the beings. Okay, so this is how we can summarize what is. Okay, now, very quickly, the wisdom of Natalia, the emptiness of the mind. Okay. First, emptiness of the mind, don't take it too seriously. You're all sitting like this. Right? No need to do that. I'll make it very simple. You're getting it? And then you apply it in your room. Right? Okay. So, let us be very honest. How many of you are little pleasantly exhausted the last 7 days? Little bit pleasantly exhausted. Listen, be honest. Very good. Okay. Okay. I, Bhumika, am little exhausted. I am little exhausted. You're getting it? You all said, I'm little exhausted. You said it right? You said it, not said it? Yes. Okay. So when you say, oh, I'm little exhausted, I thought it is not going to be finished. Right? It's finished, right? Okay, lucky. At least right? Although I'm a little exhausted. Okay. So let's say that and some people yawning. There's a completion syndrome. There's a completion syndrome. When you complete a task, a noble task or a difficult task, then the day before or on that day you start to yawn, right? Till that point your body will just keep going. Okay. Say in a corner of the hall, there's a room. And from that room, you could hear like the sound. From there, you said, this is not random sound. There is somebody there. We feel exhausted. The other person also must be very exhausted. Right? So then you open the door, and you see 7 people there. And you said that, hey, I'm very sorry, you must be very exhausted. Right? Okay. So sorry. So there's and you hear the sound, and you thought that the person inside must be very exhausted. I'm very sorry. And you ask, are you exhausted? Louder. Mark again. Exhausted. What did you hear? I'm a little exhausted. Yeah, I understand. I'm also a little exhausted. So you're also a little exhausted. And then you open the door. You said, I'm sorry, you're a little exhausted. Who told you I'm exhausted? I. You must be the one who feel exhausted. No, I just am. You must be the one. No, I'm very happy. I'm full of energy. I just leave. I just a turtle, right? X. Okay. X and Zos. Ted. Right? Okay. Who said? Oh. Nobody said it. Everybody's so happy, right? Oh, I must be hallucinating, right? Well, all these 7 days we have been learning illusion-like, hallucination. I must be hallucinating. Oh, I must be hallucinating. Then you feel a little embarrassed. You get out. And then you got hold of Sonamla. Hey, Sonamla, please come. Right? You're the witness. Everybody knows you so well. Right? Please come. Sonam comes. What happened? Somebody in this room, I heard that somebody said that I'm a little exhausted. Right? Am I hallucinating? So Sonam came with you. And then, how are you? Hey, what happened? Okay, okay, so did you hear somebody said, I'm a little exhausted? Yes. Am I not hallucinating? No, you're not hallucinating. Oh, I'm glad. Again, both of us open the door and you ask, right? So nobody said, I am exhausted. What is this? This is exactly how our mind works, right? When you go objectively, right, nobody said it. But if you don't go objectively, listen, I am little exhausted. This undeniably you heard it. Undeniably you heard it. This reality is not, you are not hallucinating. But when you go objectively, it's not there. So, but you heard it. Where? Subjectively you heard it. So that somebody said, I feel a little exhausted. It is your mind, your subject, which interprets it, not the object. Objectively is empty. Likewise, this is how our mind works. For example, let's say that I am very, hey, listen, I am very unhappy. You getting it? Okay. How are you? Again you heard. What did you hear? I'm very unhappy. You feel so sorry. You must be very unhappy. You say, no. Who said? I'm very happy. Right? I just am very unhappy. Again, Kishima, P. Right? I just said P. So what's the problem? I'm very happy. I'm very happy. P. Right? Who said I'm unhappy? Right? But you undeniably heard somebody who said, I'm very unhappy. You getting it? But objectively, you say, nobody said it, but you undeniably heard it. So this is exactly how our mind works. So let's say that, okay, now after this retreat, I'll be very unhappy. Again, I have to go back, work, this, that, and so whatever. I'll be very unhappy. Who's saying this? Your mind is saying this. Your mind, we said I'm unhappy. There are 7 moments of the mind. I am very unhappy. There are 7 moments of the mind, right? First moment of the mind says, I, and left. Second moment of the mind comes, right? First moment of the mind did the job, I, and the second moment of the mind came, we said, am. And the remaining moment of the mind, they're yet to come. Second moment to come and said the am, and then left. Then third moment came, we said, where, right? Where? This is where. What is the I'm very unhappy? No, I just said where, and left. Its job is done. Next moment of the mind comes, then left. Job done. Next, on, left. Then next, left. And last one, P and left. Last moment said what? P and then left. You're getting it? And left. No single mind said, I am very unhappy. But undeniably somebody said, you are unhappy. Yes, I am very unhappy. But objectively when analyze, nobody said it. Where is this? Where is this undeniable reality of the having experience? I am very unhappy. Where is this? Objective is empty. You think like this is amazing, right? Amazing. So the moment you see that I am very unhappy individually on the objective level, when you see that nobody really said that one single moment of my mind said that I'm very unhappy. Instantly your unnecessary stress subsides. Your lightness will come to you. This is extremely powerful meditation. But you heard something. Yes, you heard it. How? All these 7 moments of the mind which existed in different times, your mind put them all together. These 7 moments, they did not exist together. Your mind put them together, which otherwise existed at 7 different moments. Your mind put them together and create illusion. I am very unhappy. You're getting it? And this is deceptive. Deceptive is not really from the object. Nobody said it. No moment of the mind said it. It's deceptive, but it's very precise. This deceptive is the truth. Because you undeniably heard it. Nobody can deny this reality. This is although it is deceptive, it is yet truth. This is what's said in the Recognize the Mother. You're getting? Though deceptive, yet it is true. So, if you meditate on your mind like this, emptiness of mind like this, is very powerful. Okay, done now. Done. Okay. Okay, there are some questions. Okay, there are some questions here. I would say that there's one question which I would say is very precious for all of us. One question. The question is that we talked about the self-grasping ignorance. And this is not the true nature of our mind. Yes, you agree? Self-grasping ignorance is not the true, but it's the root of our problems. And yet it is not the nature of our mind. The true nature of mind. And the true nature of mind is very pure. So true nature of mind exists since when? True nature of mind exists since when? Since primordially, since no beginning. And the self-grasping ignorance exists since when? Same time together, right? So, same time together. So one is so pure and was so impure. These are together. You're getting it? These are together, coming down together. So the gold with the mud coming together, gold is not pure. You understand what I'm saying? Gold and the mud coming together, gold is not pure, it's impure gold. So you say the pure mind, the what is that, true nature of mind is so pure. And the mud, mental defilement, self-grasping is coming together. So which means the gold is impure. So why do you say that the true nature of mind is so pure? This is a very important mind. In the first place, fact. The fact is that the true nature of mind and the self-grasping ignorance, true nature of mind exists since beginner's time. Self-grasping ignorance also exists since beginner's time. So these two are, in a way, where there's true nature of mind, there was the self-grasping. In the past, in the future, it's a different story. In the past, always they're together, right? Then why do we say that the true nature of mind is so pure? This is a question. This is a very complicated question. You getting it? Because it is always coming with self-grasping ignorance. Self-grasping is impure. So what makes you think that the other one, the part which is coming with the self-grasping ignorance, as pure? True nature of the mind is pure. This question. So since we don't have time, I'd like to give a very quick explanation with a little bit of interaction. Otherwise, I would have really spent more time with you on this. This is a very important question. So for this, I will say the true nature of mind is very pure. Does not mean that there's the true nature of mind, like the gold, very clean, and the self-grasping is impure, coming to it. This is not the connotation. Let's say that, okay, how many you know Yamuna River? Delhi Yamuna River. Okay, so in Delhi, but when you feel very thirsty, come to me. I'll get you Yamuna River to drink. Why? No way, it's very dirty. You're getting it? So the point is that Yamuna River is so dirty. Don't think that there's pure water there, and then there's some coming together like this. No. Our mind, if you can just do operation of a mind, you say that it's very dirty, it's very defiled. Right? Now I'm explaining what is the meaning of true nature of mind is pure. This is what I'm trying to explain. So this mind, which is so dirty, right from the beginning, is very dirty. Very dirty. Like the Yamuna River. Yamuna River. So now let's say that I get hold of say Yamuna River, water from the Yamuna River, and I offer it to you. You would like to drink? You would like to, hey, Natalia, you would like to drink? No. Why? It's very dirty. Now what we do is that I subject this water to purification process. Like, okay, don't just think that I'm sharing story. You're getting it? You be ready, alert. Be ready. Whatever I said, grab at it. And when I ask question, you have to give the answer. So this water, which water? Dirty water. I subject this to purification process, like reverse osmosis and ultrafiltration. So with this, very clean water comes out. All the bottled water that we get in shop is like this. So now this water, you like to drink or not? Natalia, you like to drink it? Yes. Why? It's very clean now. My question to you, this pure water came from where? From Mount Kailash or from Yamuna? From Yamuna. Yamuna, there's no clean water. It's very dirty. You're getting it? Don't forget it. This example, keep it aside for the time being. The next, this brass singing bowl. This brass singing bowl, I saw a golden singing bowl somewhere. And I also want this to be golden singing bowl. So what I do is I remove the brass particles. I remove the brass particles so that say, with the dirty Yamuna river, water from the Yamuna river, what did I do? I removed the dirt through the purification process. And then the pure water comes out. So likewise, I apply the same logic. I remove the brass particles. I don't want brass singing ball. I want a golden singing ball. I remove the brass particles. What happened to a singing ball? It becomes a gold singing ball. Yes? No, why not? Singing ball will disappear. You're getting it? My question to you now. Why, in the case of the first case, Yamuna River, when you subject this to purification process, instead of the water disappearing, the water becomes so pure. The word is, true nature of mind is pure. You're getting it? Say the water becomes so pure. In the case of the brass singing ball, remove the brass materials. Instead of the brass singing ball becoming golden singing ball, the singing ball disappears. In the case of water, water don't disappear. Water becomes so clean. Why? There's a difference there. Anyone? Okay, Dedenla, what's the difference? In the case of the water, why the water did not disappear, instead of water becomes clean? Why?
Because water was water and the dirt was different, so you could.
Okay, what you said is correct. Anybody else? Raise hands. Naima? Why?
The dirt was removed from the water.
Likewise, I removed the brass particles from the singing bowl. Same. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Why, in the case of the dirty water, it became the lady over the air?
Потому что изначальная природа воды была чистой, а изначальная природа чаши, она не была золотой.
Because the true nature of the water is purity, but the true nature of the brass is not gold.
Perfect. Very good. Okay. Dedenla, Naima, you agree? So the true nature of the water is so pure. Although the water, this Yamuna water is not pure, but the true nature of the Yamuna water is true nature is pure. True nature of water is pure. Water is not pure. Make this distinction. The Yamuna water is not pure. The true nature of the Yamuna water is pure. You getting it? So our mind is not pure, but the true nature of mind is pure. You getting it? True nature of mind is pure. Doesn't mean that the true nature of mind says some glittering, clear mind coming. No, there's nothing like this. But the true nature of the mind is very pure. So, why we say that the true nature of mind is pure? Mind is not pure because the mind is carrying the self-grasping ignorance. So, the true nature is pure. Of the true nature of mind is pure, but the mind per se is not pure. Why is not pure? Because self-grasping ignorance is there. Now, how do you know that the true nature is pure? Remove self-grasping ignorance. Purity manifests. This purity does not come from anywhere else. It's right there within. Remove the dirt. Say, when you remove the dirt, as Naima said, when you remove the dirt, as Dedana said, to separate, remove the dirt, you are remove the temporary, or you remove the adventitious stains of the water. You remove the adventitious stain or temporary stains. You remove the temporary stains, then the true nature will manifest. Whereas with the brass singing bowl, when you remove the brass, you are actually removing the true nature of the brass. So the brass disappears. The singing bowl disappears. So this difference. So therefore, your mind is so pure. The mind is not pure. What's pure? True nature of mind is very pure. Remove the dirt, that the true nature will manifest. You getting it? Okay. So they are. Okay. What do you do? Is it lottery? Huh? Lottery? Okay. So the. Okay. Huh? Okay, yes. Kaya, come. Kaya, come. Kaya, come. How many questions to do? 4:30, yes. So how many questions? 2 or 3? 3. 3. Okay. Kaya, you pick up, say, from the, you close your eyes and you pick up. Come. Close your eyes. You randomly just shuffle. Just shuffle like this, and pick up 3 questions. Yes. 1. This is 1. You give it to me. Okay, 1. This is done actually. Yes. No, don't close your eyes. Or you open your eyes, and then randomly you tell me which 4 questions. 3. 1. 2. Oh, seems the same person. Doesn't give same person. Okay. 2. Okay, 3. Good. Thank you, Kaya. Thank you. Okay, now you go. Okay, so the 3 questions. So this is order in which Kaya gave me. The first one. Geshe, the Ye Dharma mantra says all phenomena arise from causes. Does this include permanent phenomena? Okay, I'm glad it's a short answer. Ye Dharma, all phenomena arise from the causes, is a short form of all phenomena of all composite phenomena. Composite is like, say, form is empty, meaning form is empty of objective existence. Like this, all phenomena of all composite phenomena arise from causes. That's simple, easy. Next question. You mentioned that besides long version, there are middle and short version of the morning practice. Can you please kindly tell more about it and what are the necessary conditions for each of them? Okay, that's also very easy. Thank you. It's right there. It's right there. So don't be lazy. Study this. Don't ask me what are under this. Read it for us. Don't say this. Don't say read it for us and explain. Don't say you study yourself. This is easy, thank you. The last question. I understand that there are aspects of the path that are contaminated by ignorance, but they are necessary to achieve liberation. Nevertheless, shouldn't there be also aspects that are not of the nature of samsara? If yes, can we consider our own Buddha nature and the blessings of the Buddhas as such kind of elements? My doubt is, how would it be possible to escape the dream if all the tools available are of the nature of the dream? Okay. First I would say, yes, contaminated. Let's say that when you fall in the... So first of all, what is uncontaminated, what's contaminated? So uncontaminated, the direct realization of the wisdom of emptiness. Uncontaminated, in simple terms, when your mind manifests its true nature, which is so pure meaning uncontaminated. When the mind manifests its true nature, right? When you see the emptiness directly, at that point, it coincides with the reality. So the mind manifests its true nature once in a while, but it's not stable. Again, because of the imprints, they will put you back into the, seeing things objective, real, and so forth. So, it's not that only when you reach the enlightenment that the uncontaminated, the paths exists. It exists since the path of seeing. Gade, gate, para gade. Still there is a para sangati. Within that, for the Bodhisattvas, it has to be split into 10. 10 divisions are there. So part of seeing, there you already have the uncontaminated path. It's not necessary that the uncontaminated path you will attain only when you reach the goal, Bodhisattva, not necessary. So this one part. And then the it says our own Buddha nature. So our own Buddha nature, as I said earlier, our mind per se is defiled. But the true nature mind meaning that the true nature mind is pure, is uncontaminated. But if you really look at where is uncontaminated, you'll never find it, because it is in a dormant state. Okay. And what about the Buddha's blessings? Yes, the Buddha's blessings can be extremely powerful. Lama Tsongkhapa, in his text, he mentioned that except for your mind which realizes emptiness directly, and the special forces, merits accumulated in relation to the special objects, meaning Buddha relics and so forth. Otherwise, all what we do are related to making you move around samsara. You're getting it? So these two, the wisdom of emptiness one, and the other one is the power of the special objects, like Buddha relics and so forth. Then my doubt is, how would it be possible to escape the dream if all the tools available are of the nature of the dream? Okay, this is a good question, but oftentimes what we suggest is that a good philosopher or good practitioner is that you think of it seriously, think of these things seriously with examples, think of multiple examples. Examples will greatly help us. For example, like say the example that I gave you, coming to this hall, and then you are right in the Megalurganj, every step you take closer towards this hall, and you are still outside the hall. But say you will reach, as you keep moving towards this hall, you are coming closer, closer, closer. But still you are outside. Outside is the metaphor for the dreams. And inside this hall is a metaphor for waking up. So as long as you're in the outside, you are still in the dream. But dream, there are various levels. Dreams where you are festered, you are deeply ingrained, submerged in the ignorance, versus ignorance becomes lighter, 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 not too heavy, lighter as you come closer and closer. And then say, when you walk, every time you walk towards the hall, is this outside or inside? It's outside, which means that it's always outside, right? But outside, then at a certain point, then when Kumbhala kept the door open, then you step in, you instantly get into in. So think of these examples. Don't just always keep it pure, dry, intellectual. Intellectual, or in real life. He gave the example of this outside, inside. Outside is all like the dream state. Inside is the non-dream state. From there, keep walking is all in the dream state. But then it is come closer to the door. At one point, you step, you get into the hall. You're getting it? So these are the examples required for us. Sometimes, if you keep it on the intellectual level all the time, you will never get the answer. Although the answer is there, but you'll never feel satisfied, because that your mind, that hardware is not too sophisticated. So for that, you require examples. Examples will help you instantly click the point. Done. Right? So there are many questions there. Okay, so next is the talk offering. Talk offering, we'll do it very quickly. How long is that? Right now. Okay. Good morning.
Thank you. On behalf of participants, I wanted to express my gratitude, and I will translate it in Russian also. Thank you. In praise of Geshe Damdul Dorji, to the diamond of the land of snows, reverend upholder of the teachings vast and deep, to the lion who tears appearances apart, I pay homage and go for refuge. The misty haze of the three poisons are cast away by your mere presence. Weary hearts of the wanderers are soothed by cooling nectar of your voice. Illuminating the death of the greatest ones, you shun the darkness of samsara. At dawn, the gentle sun reveals the unmistaken path. Through the power of truth, may your wishes always be fulfilled, and may the unsurpassed wisdom of Nalanda Masters forever blaze for mother beings. With blessings on the three jewels, with perseverance in study, reflection, and meditation, we shall not stop until the goal is reached. Хвала Герше Дамдулу Dorji, бриллиант страны снегов, достойный держатель учений широких и глубоких, лев, разрывающий иллюзию на части, перед тобой я простираюсь и в тебе нахожу прибежище. Мутная дымка трех отрав, рассеянная лишь твоим присутствием, усталые сердца скитальцев, омыты нектаром твоего голоса. Освещая намерения великих, ты сгоняешь тьму сансары, нежное солнце рассвета открывает безошибочный путь. Силой правды да будут твои желания исполнены, и пускай непревзойденная мудрость мастеров Наланды всегда сияет для матерей существ. Благословениями трех драгоценностей, с упорством в учении, размышлении и медитации, да не остановимся мы, пока не достигнем цели.
Thank you, Leon. Thank you so much. Tutandrashi. Okay, Tutandrashi with the help of Victor. Okay, okay. Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Leon. Thank you, Victor. Thank you so much. Okay, now for the sock offering. Sì. Tanta. mare mare mandal sure mare kisam shirwa de mare first mandala kisam will do and the next reading will do.
May I be blessed.
Okay, now we will do the end dedication prayer, the long form, the more detailed version. 294. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So now, in everybody we have noticed this the last 7 days. I see that people are really very happy, very diligent, and even looking at the group discussions is very lively. And I see that no obstacles. It's very auspicious. So with this in mind, no doubt we have accumulated so much merit, and as Bodhisattva clearly indicated, with respect to the wisdom of emptiness, that we meet with this teaching on the wisdom of emptiness is extremely, extremely, I'm very fortunate, we are all very fortunate in this regard, and we accumulate so much of accumulation of wisdom, accumulation of merit, both. So whatever merits and the wisdom that we gathered, let us dedicate to the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, that who also join happiness on this today. And and let us also pray that the wishes of His Holiness, the visions of His Holiness, the missions of His Holiness in the form of the universal ethics, today having taken the shape of the social, emotional, ethical learning, And may this be adopted by all the sensible people, the universities, institutions, and centers and so forth, all over the world, by all the different nations on the national level, and also on the international level, on the UN level. So that sensible people would get the brilliant legacy of His Holiness, be taken on that level, so the world is going to receive the benefit of this. And let us also pray that the great learning centers of the different traditions of Theravada tradition, the Chinese Mahayana tradition, and also the Tibetan traditions, Sakya, Kagyu, Nyingma, Gelu, and Chonang, Podong, Pudun, and Shalu, all these traditions flourish in the activities of study, reflection, meditation. May all the monastic members of these different traditions may have a sense of harmony, and may they receive the generous support from the generous supporters, and that they be able to uninterruptedly practice their study, reflect, meditate, to hold the Dharma of the Buddha's teaching so pure and continue to disseminate in the world. And also let us pray that the Dharma centers like Tushita Center and all these APM centers all over the world, may they thrive in the activities of disseminating the different teachings on the level of the retreats, the other study programs and so forth. May they be successful, and also that all the volunteers and all the staff, the people who really hold these centers, may they have long life, and that may whatever they do be accomplished, be successful in line with the Dharma, and the Dharma practice becomes very effective, and that be of they attain enlightenment for the benefit of all demonstration beings. And let's also pray that all the domestic problems, likewise community problems, the border tensions among the different countries, and the people dying under the war, in the name of the wars, that all the complications, conflicts be on the national level, international level, may they dissolve as soon as possible, come to terms with the peace, and that everybody can sigh with the relief, that the parents can meet their children can meet their parents, and that the world will find something, a fresh breath of air of peace. And let us also pray that eventually all the world leaders, they learn from His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and how to embrace each other with love and affection, so that all these trillions and trillions of dollars spent otherwise on the warfare, they be dedicated towards the education, healthcare, and taking care of the ecology, taking care of the poor animals, the destitute beings, education, the destitute children, and so forth, that they learn from this, and the world becomes really a divine world, really paradise for everybody. Everybody will feel the freedom, total freedom, and then they get the vision to go towards the greater happiness of nirvana, the total fearlessness referred to as nirvana, and infinite happiness referred to as Buddhahood. And may I personally dedicate marriage thus gathered, that each one of you, through concerted effort, be able to through concerted effort in the study, reflection, meditation on the wisdom of Emptiness and Bodhisattva, that each one of you becomes such. You see the dawn of these two, the blaze of the non-dual Bodhisattvas within you, that each one of you becomes such a reliable guide to lead all demonstration beings towards ultimate happiness. That is the Buddhahood. And so with this mind, let's turn to page 294, additional dedication prayers. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All powerful champions, the Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. Just as the brave Manjushri and Samadhi too realize things they are, also I dedicate all these merits in the best way that I may follow the perfect example. I dedicate all these rules of virtue with the dedication praised as the best by all the Buddhas who appear in 3 times, so that I might perform the noble Bodhisattva's days. Chanju samjo remboje maye banam ke gyoroche ke ba nyama me baya do pe varasho. May the Supreme Bodhisattva that is not rest and grow, and may that which is risen not diminish but increase forevermore. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. Through the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha and lead all beings without exception into that enlightened state. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization of these in the prayers of all the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of 3 times unto the upholding of the doctrines, Dhamma's teaching and realization. May in all lives through the force of this merit never separate from the 4 wheels of the mind and vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect when the 2 stages. With a wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. May the poor find wealth, those with sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find new hope, constant happiness and prosperity. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from the illness, and may every disease in the world never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting one another. By the merits I have accumulated, may every single being abandon all forms of wrongdoing and perpetually engage in virtue. May they never be parted from the mind of bodhicitta. May they always engage in the bodhisattva's conduct. May they be cared for by the Buddhas and relinquish the actions of devils. May no living creature ever suffer, commit wrong, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled, or their minds ever be depressed. May all the pains of living creatures rest solely upon myself, and through the might of the Bodhisattva Sangha, may all beings experience happiness. Having dispelled all in and outer obstacles and downfalls, such as poverty, despair, oppression, cruelty, epidemics and natural disasters due to the environmental degradation, all beings forever enjoy the glory of the peace and happiness. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge to Triple Gem, I confess the negativities individually, I reject virtues all the beings, I hold the best of Buddha in our heart. By the power of practicing and supplicating to you, may all be free from sickness, poverty, and conflicts, and may Dhamma and the auspiciousness proliferate in all the places where we abide. The path of union of emptiness and compassion is loosely explained by the perturbed Buddha, Dhamma, and the beings with the end of snows. You are the Lord who hold the Tenzin Gyatso. We supplicate you that your wish is fulfilled spontaneously. May the operations of evil thoughts and deeds, human non-humans, who harbor malice through perverted prayers against the teachings of the Buddhas be totally vanquished through the power of the truth of the 3 jewels. By the dependent realization of the profound suchness of appearance and emptiness, together with the false great compassion of the 3 jewels and the power of the truth, and through the virtue of infallible of karmas and their fruits, may this truthful prayer for ours be unhindered and quickly fulfilled. May the teaching of this beneficent one till world's end be unshaken by the winds of evil thoughts. May it always be met by innumerable beings who find conviction in the teacher by understanding the teaching's true nature. May it never falter even for an instant. Uphold the excellent way of this sage, which illuminates the principle of dependent origination through all my births, never even giving away my body and life. May I spend day and night carefully reflecting, by what means can I enhance this teaching achieved by the Supreme Savior through the strenuous effort of over countless eons. In all my lives, never separate from the perfect Gurus, we enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing qualities of stages in the paths, by coolly stayed in the state of Vajratara. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the Iron Magiciary and be able to uphold the truth, Dhamma in general, and the teaching of dependent origin in particular, even in the cosmic life.